I just recently saw Smile 2 and I have some thoughts to share with you guys, so let's get into it. Firstly, I'm quite a fan of the first Smile movie. I thought director Parker Finn did an incredible job of creating a horror movie that defied a lot of my expectations. To me, Smile was everything a Blumhouse horror movie should be. It had so many genuine scares, creating a very original concept, but something that is got this strange gimmick attached to it with the whole smile phenomenon that made it really accessible. It really blends the best of popular horror movies with something new and different that dives a little bit deeper into its mythology, and I really like that aspect to it. And as I mentioned, it is a genuinely scary horror movie, one of the scariest that I've ever seen, and I'm a big fan of the genre. And the second one, I'm glad to say, follows suit with so many great scares, so many great payoffs, and another really well-told story. This movie absolutely doesn't hesitate to hide away from its quality. We have an excellent opening sequence that is this long take, just already illustrating the quality of filmmaking that we're going to get here, immersing you into the film, picking up pretty quickly after the events of the first film, which was quite bleak and very purposefully so. And the second one does not shy away from that tone. It manages to push forward with its concepts and is still such a mean-spirited horror movie. This thing does not let up, and I think that is the thing that makes Smile so scary to me. The monster in these movies is fucking relentless. It never lets go. It gradually ramps up the intensity, which is perfect for a horror movie, because that's what you want. You want the scares to ramp up and build up and build up, and doing something different consistently. And Smile 2 does do that once again, which I didn't think it was going to be able to pull off. I thought this one was going to go into a little bit more of a stylish tone. It felt like we were going to get some neon demon vibes associated with this. And you do see that a little bit at moments, some inspiration there. But for the most part, this is just another great story within this little universe that Parker Finn has created here. And utilizing a completely different character, this time a pop star who is going through a completely different set of circumstances, is under the limelight, is not just a regular person, makes for an interesting film that can carve out its own thing and do different things with its scares. Naomi Scott plays the lead here, and I think she does a terrific job. I actually think she might be an upgrade in the protagonist over the first one, because she has a lot going on, and that is the theme of these movies. These characters are going through some kind of mental torment, some kind of trauma that they're trying to get over. And her stuff here is pretty full on, and as the movie wants to dive into that further, it creates more terrifying scares. And because of some of the things that this character does with her experience with drug use and being so fragile mentally, this smile demon does have its way with her in some very interesting ways. Once again, creating up interesting jump scares that aren't just a difference in the music or utilizing a loud noise to scare you. No, these are some great genuine scares. There are a couple within a hallway that are just so well done, so very creative, yet so simple. And that is once again the beauty of Smile. These things that are being set up here don't feel like these out-of-pocket crazy things that it's going for. They're very simple in its approach, but yet again, they're very innovative, and I think that very smart direction from Parker Finn. He has a great eye and knack for horror. The movie consistently finds new ways to surprise its audience, even when you're feeling quite safe. There's some sequences when she's performing these fun poppy songs, and yet we're getting hit with scares in surprising ways. Certain moments where you don't know what's real or what's not. That is where the real beauty of this movie comes into. The whole thing of the demon playing with your reality in the way where things seem to be happening one way, but they're not happening that way at all. And this film dives into that a whole lot more than the first one, and it does it in some very bold and creative ways that I think really work to the benefit of the film, and I think is the primary reason why a lot of people are saying the second one is better than the first one. I don't know if I can go onto that level yet, because the first one to me was a genuine surprise. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was, and it knocked me out of the park. This one, I had some expectations for because I love the first one. And this does live up to it. I think it's kind of on par. I think they're just two great films with great performances. Naomi Scott slowly getting more and more deranged as the film progresses is wonderful in terms of a horror movie, but it also illustrates her range as an actress, and I do think she does a phenomenal job here. This movie also got $10 million more in its budget, and it shows through a lot of the camera work. As I said, the opening sequence is very immersive and far more creative than a lot of the camera work that we see in the first one, even though once again the first one is excellent. And there's just a lot of stylistic choices. There's these shots where everything's upside down and it flips back around, and there's all these things, and there's grander locations. As I said, because we're following a pop star now, we're having to be in these bigger locations with a lot more extras and things of that nature. So naturally, you can see where the budget has gone here. And I do think it makes for a better film in those elements. Something more immersive for this character. It feels authentic. So I do like where the extra money has gone here in this budget. There is some questionable CGI that I do need to mention though, that they do something similar in the first one, but they hide it a whole lot better, where it is able to be very effective. In this one, not so much. It looks cheap and just doesn't quite work to the effect that the first one did, creating some real nightmarish sequences that the second one just couldn't quite pull off in those moments. But for the most part, there are so many scenes in here that I don't want to spoil in terms of these scares, because that's what you're going to these movies for. But a lot of them are on par with the scares in the first one, and some of them maybe even scarier. These movies do hit me pretty hard, and I think if you found the first movie to be quite scary, I think you're going to get a lot of that here with the second one. There are just some issues I also have with some of the product placement in this movie. Our protagonist here drinks a lot of Voss water, and you can tell that because it is in a frame all the fucking time. And even if it is some kind of authentic product placement where, yes, a celebrity like this would probably drink expensive water like Voss, I don't need to see the logo every 5 seconds. It does get distracting, and you cannot help but feel that you're being sold something. It might differ for you, but for me, I was getting kind of tired of seeing a Voss bottle every 2 seconds. Not even the bottle, the logo. It's always in the frame. I don't mind if she's just drinking from the bottle and every now and then I don't see the logo. I don't need to see the logo every fucking time. It does pull me out and does take me out of it every now and then. It's not what you want in a horror movie where you're really trying to be sucked in and immersed into what's going on, because that's what draws out the best scares, where you're really immersed. And sometimes those little moments pull me out and go, come on, did we really need that? It is a little bit distracting, and I do find that stuff to be very annoying. Overall, I love Smile 2 pretty much just as much as I love the first one. I think these two make great horror movies, and we do have the potential for a third movie. I don't know if I want to see any more beyond that, but there is an interesting place that these movies can go that I would be fascinated in seeing. I have faith in Parker Finn, and I really cannot wait to see what he does as a filmmaker outside of these movies, because what he's done here has been phenomenal and deserves all the credit and success in the world. These are studio horror movies that 100% deserve your attention. They're made with so much care, that do something different. Yes, they are very bleak, but they work in being a terrifying experience that is so fun to go to. I appreciate these movies so much, and I highly recommend you check out Smile 2. As a score, I'm going to give this film a 4.5 out of 5. I think it's an excellent movie that 100% deserves your attention. And those are my thoughts towards Smile 2. If you've seen the movie, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And what do you think about the first one as well, and how it matches up to this one? Love to hear your thoughts. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.